Hey guys, in today's live stream, we're going to be talking about renegotiation season, why it's important for you guys to know different things like commission versus salary and 1099 versus employee, being an employee within a business. So let's see here. So we're going to be talking about that, and also we're going to be doing Q&A afterwards as well. It's all coming up. Hey guys, and welcome to Window Tinting Business, where we strive to inform, inspire, and improve you as a professional. My name is Patrick, as always, and if you're interested in window tinting as a side job to improve your current skills or as a full-on career, start right now by subscribing to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification if you want to be notified whenever we go live or whenever I update new videos when that happens. It's been few and few, but I think more and more are going to be coming soon. I say it all the time, but I just got to figure out the time. Let me see here. Yeah, if you're new to the live streams, we do our live streams every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am active on the chats also. That's where I know where a lot of people are. That's where I get my questions and I answer questions on there. So don't be afraid to get on the chat and talk on there as well to everyone as well. Let's see here. Today's topic, like I said, we're going to be talking about renegotiation season. The end of the year is upon us. So next year, new years, new contracts usually. Sometimes people start them in January. Sometimes people start them in March, start of the second quarter. It really just depends on your situation. I watched last week's live stream and I did a lot of ums and uhs, more uhs than anything. So I'm trying to slow it down a little bit, and then that way I can kind of clean it up. It's a little bit difficult, but I'm trying my hardest. Jaybird in the house. What's going on, Jaybird? Always good to see you. And let me see here. Looks like we got about 7 people in the house, which is good. Those of y'all that are watching, feel free to say hi on the chat. Feel free to say hi. Okay, so we're gonna be doing this, and I did find my schedule. You can't see it. There you go. I did find my schedule. So now we're gonna be a little bit. I can't believe last week we went like an hour and a half. I'd never go that long. Like sometimes it's tough for me to struggle to go just an hour. So so we're gonna be doing that, and I got it a little bit more organized, so that's gonna be good to go. And but before we get started here. Switch it over here. Before we get started, I did want to talk in little bits in regards. We have to get started with our sponsors, and this episode and this live stream is sponsored in part by there it is. Soak Shield. Soak Shield is the original microfiber braided rope. What it is designed to be able to go ahead and put at the base of the glass of the front windshield mainly, but you can do it in the back window as well. It's to absorb up any excess moisture and prevent any water damage. Essentially, it's a really great tool. Soakshield.com. If you don't have one, make sure to go ahead and check it out. Ask your distributors; they should have it. But yeah. If you don't have it, get your hands on one and make sure it is the original Soak Shield. There are some copycats out there. There's just nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. But don't be fooled. Get the original. Try it out. For more information, check out Soak Shield. That's soakshield.com. And also it could be got over at filmslingers.com as well. It's available, and their dash towels and other things of that nature. Also, this live stream is also sponsored in part by CertifiedTinter.com. Now, it does launch January 1st. CertifiedTinter.com is going to be your premier online training center. This subscription-based website will gain you access to a diverse how-to video library, which has new videos uploaded every single week, and discounts from manufacturing distributors that are within our established relationships program, an affordable training film, and much more. Again, that's going to be starting January 1st, 2019, and that's from the creators of the YouTube channels Tint Stuff and Window Tinting Business. That's me and Matt, of course. And last but not least, let me see here. Last but not least, last sponsors of this this live chat is going to be, or live stream actually, excuse me, is going to be you guys over here with Super Chat. Super Chat is activated, just so you guys know. if you guys don't know what Super Chat is a way for you guys to go ahead and donate to the channel. All proceeds go to help support the channel. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our topic for the evening. So renegotiation season. Now, some people like this, some people don't like this. Whatever you make, this is not going to be in regards to how much you make, because I have spoken in the past in regards to how much I think you should be making. I mean, what a tinter should be making. Some people think I'm absurd, and some people think that I get paid too much, and some people think I don't get paid enough. So, I mean, that's kind of like a relative term, but we're going to be talking about the importance of renegotiation first and foremost. Now, obviously, if you're culminating your first or second year, maybe the original negotiations happened when you were hired on to the shop or garage or wherever else you're working at. But with the new year coming up, like I said, some people will start their renegotiations or their new contracts at the beginning of the first quarter, or excuse me, the beginning of the second quarter. And that would be April the 1st. And reason why is because typically that's basically right around the jump of the season. January is okay, but everyone, blows their money on New Year's. February is just as bad, just because everyone blew their money over the holidays and New Year's, and they got to scrape whatever they have together for Valentine's Day stuff. And March is where usually people get all their money back from tax returns and whatnot. So that typically would launch the beginning of the season, or the busy season, I guess you could say. So whichever one you do it, it's best. If I always thought that it's always best to start contracts the very like April 1st. So the first day of the second quarter, because that way the money starts rolling and the shop will get their money on the front end. So then that way they're going to make money basically the second quarter, the third quarter, part of the fourth quarter, like October-ish is going to start to die down, and then part of first quarter of the following year is going to be so-so. So that's why I say start them at the beginning of the second quarter, because the shop will get their money on the front end. If you start it like, say, third quarter, like October, right? The shop's going to have to pay you money, and they might not make money, and that's a risk on their end, because maybe you're here the fourth quarter and then the first quarter, and then they've paid you all this money, and they're waiting to get their money on the back end, and then you could dip out on them. See? So it's a little bit more of a risk assessment, I guess you could say, of putting more risk on you or them if they hire you on the slow season. So a shop would definitely want to start you off on the busy season or right at the cusp of the busy season. And it's good, I'd say, as a professional courtesy, if you are a professional tinter, I would say, yeah, the beginning of the second quarter is definitely a time to start with the contracts, because it's only fair to the shop. If they're going to pay you a decent salary, they should get their money in the front end. So then that way you don't have to worry about it, to be honest. But renegotiations are important because within our industry, it's uncommon, I guess you could say, not a normal job. Most places they give you paid vacations. Most shops don't even offer you health care or dental or any type of insurance or benefits, I should say. My shop just offered benefits, I think just this year or just this past year we started. The first year I was there, no bennies. Second year, bennies. Now you end up paying for them, but I mean, at least I have healthcare. Healthcare in the tint industry is a little bit difficult to come by, but so things like that. Renegotiations don't have to be just about money. They could be other different things, like maybe paid vacations. Maybe you can earn, maybe not a full like week's paid vacation up front or 2 weeks or whatever, but maybe you earn it as you go throughout the year. I don't know, something of that nature. Because we don't have paid vacations in the tint world. If you want a paid vacation, you basically have to whatever you bring home on the daily. Like, let's just say it was $175 a day that you take home. So you'd have to save $175, and there's 1 day off. Save another $175, there's 2 days off. So for me to go on like a week-long cruise or a 10-day cruise, that vacation I went on a few months now, almost 2 months ago, it cost me probably around $1,500 ballpark-ish, 1,500 to 2,000 in lost revenue. So that's the kind of money I had to put aside because I wasn't making that, so I can pay my bills, of course. Also, you have to keep in mind in regards to the cost of inflation, roughly around 2 to 3% every year. So if you're getting, let's just say you're getting paid $75,000 or $50,000, let's call it 50. It makes it easier for the numbers. Let's say you're getting paid $50,000, and I'm gonna put up the gain just a little bit here. It looks like it's a little low. I don't want to be too low for you guys. So let's say you're getting paid about $50,000 a year. And then end of year 1, you're making $50,000. Awesome. End of year 2, you're still making $50,000. Awesome. End of year 3, you're still making $50,000. Awesome. Here's the problem: the cost of inflation. Now, year 1, you're okay. Year 2, the cost of inflation is roughly around 2 to 3%. So you have to at least keep up with the cost of inflation. Now, if you're a good employee, if you do well, I mean, here, if you're a tinter and you don't steal, and let me see here, you show up on time, you do your work, you're not drama, that's a model employee. If you do your work when you're supposed to and do what you're told, essentially, that's a model. You can't find, it's very hard to find. That's one reason why I'm really successful in window tinting, because I do all those things. And if you want to be successful too, all you have to do is that you have to be like a normal person. If you can do that, you're solid. You're solid. But yeah, you have to be able to at least keep up with the cost of living. If not, you're actually losing money year over year if you don't renegotiate and at least keep up with the cost of inflation. Now, if you think that you're doing well, if you're doing better, if your job was just to be a tinter and all of a sudden you're keeping track of inventory, you're keeping track of scheduling, you're keeping track of commission rates and different other things, and doing more managerial. Yeah, that's a word, I think. If you're doing more work like that, then you do the work first, and then you either wait for it or you ask for it. It's one of the two. You can't ask for more money if you're not doing more work, if that makes sense. So or you have to be able to justify a raise by how much. The people aren't just going to give you a raise because they think you're awesome and they love you. No, you have to be able to generate more income for the business, which would justify a raise. So either learn a trade, cross-train, so maybe doing PPF as well, maybe doing flat glass, maybe doing sales, anything that makes you really indispensable. That's what I mean, indisposable. You don't want that. You don't want to just be the one-trick pony. Let's see how we're doing. I like to check in on here. About 11 people watching, so that's good. That's good. What's going on, guys? Hello, hello. All right. So wherever it is, I know it's kind of awkward. It is an awkward conversation, but you have to have those conversations because some bosses will not bring those up on purpose, because year over year, the longer you stay, the better they're off if they don't give you a raise. So it's in their favor if you don't renegotiate. So be a responsible adult and at least just have the sit down conversation. And if you work for a joint that makes you feel uncomfortable because you have to sit down or would like to sit down to discuss things like that, that's probably not a place you want to be working anyways. Just being honest with you. Just being honest. Let's see here. Moving on over to the next subject would be commissions versus salary. Commission versus salary. And everyone's split on this. And I'm not telling you which way to go either which way. I'm just going to explain to you what I do, why I do it, where my viewpoints are on both sides, just so you guys are fully aware of which way you want to go or which way you could go, and then you can decide which one's best for you. Now, obviously, commission-based is roughly, typically, it's around 30%. 20, 25, 30%. I've heard of 40% of whatever the total ticket amount is. And I've heard some people getting 30% of just the labor, which is, I don't know. It's a little, I don't think that's fair in my opinion, but who am I? So commission based is going to be whatever 30%. Let's say you work on X amount of cars per week, and let's say you do $1,000 worth of work. Let's just say it's a little slow week. You do $1,000 worth of work. That means at 30%, you're going to be paid $300 for that week, which is good. But the problem is, what happens when it is when it's the slow season, and you don't do $1,000, but you do $100, and now instead of $300, you have $30 in the bank. That's hard. The swings are hard with commission. If you are going to be a commission, you can make more money and you'll get more money. I believe you'll be able to get more money in bigger chunks with commission, but you have to be responsible. You have to be financially smart, because you have to be able to put your nuts away for the winter. Okay, what non-professionals, not non-professionals, I guess it'd be non-professionals, because if you can't get through the winter time, then you're not a professional. You can't be there year round. That doesn't make you a professional. Okay, what pros do, what the guys that do this for a living, and if you want to do this for a living, when you get your money and you start making money, typically around the second quarter, you have to put your money aside. You can't just be blowing out. Let's say, you have to know how much your finances are. You have to know how much you need to bring in, and any extra you have to keep. You have to save. You have to have a saving, because when it gets thin in the wintertime, you're going to need to take from that savings to be able to get you through. What poor tinters do is they'll get that money during the busy season. Come wintertime, it slows down, and they're like, well, I got to go make money somewhere else. I have bills to pay. They don't think about it, and then they leave. And then that hurts the industry, that hurts the shop that they were working at. It hurts you, because tint shops talk, and the industry is small, so and they network. So if they hear that you're only there for the busy season, and you say you're going to be there year round, and then you dip in the wintertime, it's no bueno. It's no bueno. Andrew, what's going on? This is a perfect topic. Thank you. Washington, I will ask that question, guys, and I don't know if I brought this up. What I'm going to do is, because this is being recorded and people do review these, people that can't join the live streams live, they do watch these or listen to them later on. So I will go and answer all questions. If you have any questions, you can write them down now. And feel free to do it. We are going to be doing a Q&A section at the very end, just because for the rebroadcasting purposes, I don't want to answer any questions right now, because maybe whoever is watching the recording like tomorrow, maybe they just want to get the information and then get the Q&A afterwards, because maybe that's not important to them. So Washington, that's a great question. Washington said, have you ever had your own shop? And if not, why? I am going to answer that question. It's a very good question. I will answer it, I promise you, at the end. We're almost done anyways. Commission salary, and then we're going to be talking about 1099s and employee, which one is which and what is which anyways. So we talk about commission. Commission's good. So that's with commission. Salary's a little bit different. Salary means that salary is salary. You're going to get the same amount every single week, no matter what. Busy time during the summer, same salary. Busy time during the wintertime, dead time during the wintertime, same salary. So here's the pros and the cons. The pros is that, let's see, one of the cons is that during the summertime, during the busy times, you're not going to be making hand over fist like the guys on commission are. The guys in commission are going to be making buco, and you're going to be like, dang. And everyone else is, and if everyone's commission and you're only on salary, maybe they're going out and boozing or renting boats or doing, all this crazy stuff and fun stuff. And you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound too fun. This is not a good deal on my end. But the flip side is that when it's wintertime and you literally, some shops will drop down 75% or more. Some guys will do 4 to 5 cars a day, maybe more, and then go down to 1 to 2 cars a day, right? If you're on commission during the wintertime, when you're on salary, that's a nice cushion. So it's the opposite of when the guys that were making hand over fist during the summertime off commission, that are enjoying life and doing whatnot, they didn't save any of that money, and now they're not at the shop because they don't have any money and they got to pay their bills. So that's an unfortunate truth to the industry. So there are pros and cons to salary versus commission. If you are going to be commissioned, you got to be smart. You got to be able to manage your money. It's very, very important. Me personally, I go with salary just because I'm not a younger man. I'm 34 years old. I'm about to be 35 years old, and I have 2 kids. I have a stay-at-home fiance who takes care of my kids, and they all depend on me. So I go for salary because I need I go for salary because I need consistency, and I even offer to make less in the long run. So I usually determine. So here's how I'll do it. I'll usually determine how much I can make for the business, and then I'll usually take about 33% of that. And that's for commission. That's if I want to go commission. If I asking for salary, whatever that total amount, that 33% is, I'll usually knock off about 5 to 10%, and I'll knock off 5 to 10%, and I'll knock it off just because they're going to give me a guaranteed check. So they're putting a little bit of risk on me, taking a little risk on me. So I alleviate a little bit of that pressure by not asking for the full amount that I normally would if I stayed commission and they did book me the appropriate time. So that's what I do. Let me see here. Oh, we're going to 10 o'clock. We're just about 10 o'clock, which is doing good. We're doing good right now. And let me think here. We're supposed to be at 9:40. We start Q&A. So, or no, 40 minutes. So we're supposed to be at 10:10. We're supposed to be doing Q&A. So we're moving right along. Not too bad. For those of you guys that just joined us, my name is Patrick again. This is Window Tinting Business, and this is our weekly live stream, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight's topic, we are talking about, what are we talking about? Renegotiation season. That's what we're talking about. Renegotiations, why it's important. We're also talking a little bit about commission versus salary, and we're going to be talking about 1099 versus employee. So if you missed or just joining in on us, you can go ahead and rewind and catch on that. We are going to be talking about the tail end of the last one, which is 1099s and employees, after which we're going to be doing a little bit of Q&A, and then we're going to close it out for the evening. Lastly, we were talking about is 1099 versus employee. Now, sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to go with whatever they say. So if they say you're an employee, guess what? You're an employee. So, and if you're 1099, you're 1099. So what is a 1099? The 1099 is also known as a subcontractor. Okay. So, and there's more details, and maybe that might be a good topic to go over. What's the difference between an employee and a 1099? Because we can get into full detail about that. But essentially, a 1099 is a subcontractor. You supply the materials. You basically you can complete the jobs whenever you want. There's no time constraints because you're the boss. You're supposed to make up the time. If someone tells you when you're supposed to do something, then you're an employee. Typically, you're not a subcontractor. A subcontractor is allowed to do the job basically at their own pace, unless there's like some sort of time constraint of some sort. But you get paid in full. There's no taxes withheld. So the business will, if you're a 1099, if you're a subcontractor for a shop, the shop is going to pay you X amount in full. And basically, you're going to be responsible for your taxes. Now, again, I'm not a tax expert, so take this with a grain of salt. If you have any real questions in regards to your taxes, make sure to discuss it with a CPA or some sort of professional, because I am not a tax professional. Fair warning, full disclosure. But the first 600, I believe, is tax-free. I don't know. That's exactly. I'm not 100% how that works, because that's what I was told. The first 600 is tax-free, but you're supposed to pay tax on anything, even if it's $1. You're supposed to pay taxes on it. So double check that one. But you're supposed to keep your money, so you're gonna have a lot of money. And what a lot of people do is they mess up is they'll do 1099 as a subcontractor, and they'll get paid in full. And the business doesn't have to worry about that. They paid you your money. You're good. They have relinquished all responsibility. Now, when Uncle Sam finds out that this company, your shop, paid you $50,000 under the LLC or DBA, I don't know, Joe Schmo's Tinting or whatever, they're going to go after you. They're going to want, Uncle Sam's going to want their cut of that $50,000 because the shop didn't pay it, and you're a subcontractor, so you're responsible for that. What people do is they do 1099, they take all that money, and then they dodge the IRS. Don't do that, because the IRS will get you. I promise you, the IRS will get. Now, granted, they can't. I think the auditing, they can't go back more than 3 years. 3 years or 7 years. It's one of those two. But just don't even take the risk. Don't even take the risk, because they will cut checks. They will go into your bank account and get your money. So, and you don't want to live life like that. You don't want to live life with like cash in the mattress or dodging people or paying that then you start like becoming a weasel. Don't do that. Don't do that. And if you've done that in the past, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people do it. It's just not something that I would do. But yeah, that's 1099. Employee's a little bit different. Employee is, you're supposed to have workers' comp. You're supposed to have there's different things that are involved with being an employee, but also one of the main things, I mean, because we're talking about money here, is that when you get paid, you're going to get paid with taxes withheld. So basically, if you're an employee and you have not a lot of dependents written on your W-9, it's a W-9. I'm pretty sure it's a W-9. Yeah. If you have low dependents on your W-9, then they'll take out the most amount of taxes, and then usually you get a pretty fat tax return. I think, I think last year, well, I moved last year, so there was like a $2,000 like tax break or something like that, because I moved states. I moved from Alabama to Florida the previous year for a job, so I got a little bit of a break. But the point is that you usually, it's like 1099, you usually owe money, and it's gonna be probably, ballpark figure, if you're making 50 grand, you're gonna be owing about $15,000. And if you don't have it, they're gonna come find you and look for you. Now, if you're a 1099 employee with the same amount, you'll probably get about 5 grand back, give or take. And I asked an IRS lady once, because this is when I was like fresh out of college. Like I worked at like a restaurant. I think it was like Olive Garden or something like that. And I got like $800, $900 back. And then like my friends that I knew, like that had babies and stuff, they were getting like 4 grand, 6 grand, 8 grand. I'm like, geez, how do I get? And I asked her, I said, how do I get bigger tax returns like that? And she says, have babies. I'm like, oh no, I waited like 10 years to have babies. That's just a little side story there for you. Let's see how we're doing. We got about 12, 13 people here. You know why we don't have a lot of people? Number one, I didn't post this on the Facebook group. So if you guys are here, it's because you guys were notified or you saw it on YouTube. Number two, a lot of people are at SEMA right now. So a lot of people are just having a really good time. It's in Vegas. It's a good time. Oh gosh, everyone, my Facebook news feeds is like SEMA, Vegas. I'm like, oh, all my friends are out. Alas, SEMA fell on this week, and I would have had to been gone for Halloween, and I didn't want to do that. My kids are 2 and 4, and they're adorable, so I don't want to miss stuff like that. Not yet. I'll wait until they're like 13 or 15 and they don't care about dad and Halloween, and they want to go with their friends. Then I'll go to SEMA. Okay, well, let's see here. Moving right along, we're about 5 minutes ahead of schedule, which isn't too bad. Usually I'm not on time at all. For those of you guys that are watching, we're gonna go ahead and slide into our Q&A section for the evening. And I'm going to go ahead and switch screens right there. Bing, bing, bing. I got to move this screen. I'm like, this is the only screen that I change over that I have to like physically move. Anyways, so I'm going to start the Q&A section here. So go ahead and type in your questions, and I will start answering all kinds of questions, whatever you guys want. I'll do this for the next probably 10 to 15 minutes, or until it dries up. So it's really up to you guys. But let me go ahead and start at the top. And this is where like I kind of start being quiet, because I read slowly, so don't mind me. Okay. Oh yeah, Washington. He says, have you ever owned your own shop? And if not, why? Okay, so I have not owned my own shop. Full disclosure. I have not owned my own shop. Really, it's more of why haven't I? It's because it's a risk factor for me. There's a lot of things that I'm very analytical, so I have to determine, risk versus reward for me, because again, I am the breadwinner of my family. My fiance does not work. What's a funny a comedian once said, I've known my wife so long, I knew her when she worked. There was a point in our relationship where she made a lot more money than I did, until I got into window tinting, and then I blew her out of the water. But yeah, so there's a risk to opening up your own shop, and and it needs to be done correctly. When I do open up my own shop, it's going to be a lot more than just a shop, because I'll be running a shop, but then I'll also be able to open up a studio to be able to run like live streams like this, to be able to do proper productions for my other videos that I do on my YouTube channel, and to be able to use the space for other things just besides a shop. But also too, I am probably within the top 10% of people I know that get paid very well. Very, very well. Most people get paid right around $50,000, $52,000, $1,000 a week is usually the standard for your average tinter. And I get paid way more than that, which is very good. I'm very happy. I'm very comfortable. It's almost a double-edged sword, because I get paid so well that to open up a shop, I might even have to take a pay cut, which is kind of smart on the shop. I don't think the shop did it on purpose. I just need, I'm used to getting paid the amount that I get paid. But it's kind of like a catch-22. If you're a shop owner, pay your people so much money that if they ever opened up their own shop, they'd have to take a pay cut, and then that way you can keep your people. Because if you don't pay them enough, they're going to figure out a way to do that, or open up their own place because they want more money. So yeah, that's why I don't own my own shop just yet. This year, I am starting to transition to be more independent and doing my own thing. I have my own side business, plus I work for a shop, and I'm very transparent. My shop knows that I run a tinting business on the side as well. I'm just nowhere near my shop's demographic. Like, my shop is 23 miles away from me, so my clientele would not affect their clientele or anything like that. So. But I'm going to be doing more. I'm taking less time off at that other shop to save them money, and working on my own at my own shop or my own business, just so I can start growing it. I'm going to do 1 to 2 days a week, and then I'm going to fill that time, and then maybe go for the third, and then maybe go for a fourth, and then kind of see how it rolls. Theoretically, if I can book, because I work for 33% or a third, right? And if I work 6 days a week, and I work a third, I get 30%, right? So, but if I'm getting 100%, that means I can get the same amount in just 2 days, right? Now, I'm not going to get 100% because there's taxes and overhead costs and different things of that nature. But theoretically, if I can work those 2 days, it could almost cover what I'm making at the shop. So, each their own, though. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, Tropical Shade Tinting says, I'm going to ask a question. It's a long one. Can't stay to watch tonight, but hopefully you can get to it and I can watch it later. So Tropical Shade Tinting, this is your time right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and read this here. Okay, I know they say not to tint plexi with regular film, but I hear the reason is the heat during cure time will cause bubbling due to the gases. But I have heard that if you tint plexi and then let it cure out of the sun for 3 to 4 days, then the gas problem won't happen. I have a wind deflector on a Corvette that when the convertible top is up, it's completely protected from the sun, and it's only exposed for a little while when it's driven. I want to tint, and I am able to bring inside the cure. This car is kept for the time. Basically, you can ask if you can tint plexiglass. The long and the short is that you cannot. And it's not really because of the gases and whatnot. It's just not designed. Film is designed, and the adhesive is designed to stick to glass. So plexiglass or Lexan is a form of plastic, essentially. It's not glass. So it just won't stick to it. It's the same reason why some films don't stick to the black ceramic coating, the dot matrix. It's because it's not glass. That's why it doesn't stick. And the film is designed to stick to glass, in a nutshell. Now, I'm sure there's some deeper, more scientific reasons as to why, but that is the rule of thumb. So you cannot tint plexiglass. Now, am I saying tropical shade tinting? Am I saying that you can't do it? No, I'm not saying that at all. Would you damage anything? Probably not. What I would say is I would give it a shot. If you heard, because there's always exceptions to the rule. So if you've heard that people were able to tint plexi if they cured it out of the sun for 3 to 4 days, then I say go for it. Try it. What's the worst that could happen? I would cut it to to size, obviously, and I would not cut on that because you'll score it and you'll see it for sure. But that would be interesting. I'd try it and just see what happens. Worst case scenario, you're no worse off than you were right now with no tint on it. And best case scenario, maybe you found it, and maybe you're the guy that figured out how to do it. That's crazy, but maybe you could be. And then maybe you could be the guy to teach everyone else in the industry how you did it. So there's always silver linings to everything, but try it out. Let me know how that works. Yeah, Jaybird answered, you can buy a tinted windscreen or maybe spray tint. There is spray tint. I've never used any of this stuff, but I have heard of it. Or Lexan. I've seen Lexan does come, and Lexan is a form of plexiglass. Lexan does come in shaded versions, like tinted versions. So that is an option. Daniel Reyna says, you bad boy, no notifications. I'm going to SEMA. Oh, enjoy SEMA, my friend. Enjoy SEMA. I'm going to be there next year. I'm going to be there twice next year. I'm going to be there for SEMA, and then I'm going to be in Vegas for the Tin Off. It's going to be so much fun. If you guys did not go to the Tin Off last year, go to the Tin Off this year because it's going to be tense. We had a lot of fun with scooters and dive bars in San Antonio. Like, if we're in, like, a proper city, like, well, San Antonio is a proper city. I shouldn't say that. But what I'm saying is that it's very hard to compare to Las Vegas. So if you didn't go or you haven't gone, go there. We're going to go there, and we're going to act a fool. It's going to be a good old time. Jake Graham answered that too. You can use taillight tint like Lux, Luxe. Lux, I hear, is a phenomenal tint film for headlights and taillights. I haven't tried it yet, but my buddy Matt has, and he said it's really, really awesome stuff. I used to use this stuff, Linex. I think it was Linex. It was all right. I mean, it was all right if you were doing like a flat, like Chevy Silverado headlight, which is like basically a wall. But I think I tried to even pull and heat and whatnot on like a Toyota Tundra, where you had to really wrap it and it just didn't hold. You know, it could be me too. Maybe I just suck at that stuff. Who knows? Let's see here. Looks like oh, Tropical Shade Tinting, you're still here. I thought you'd left. My friend. Whoa, there you go. Tropical Shade Tinting with the $10 super chat. Definitely. Thank you very much for that. Really, really appreciate it. That's really awesome. Really, thank you very much. Jaybird asks, how do you deal with streaks from microfibers on final clean before delivery? Streaks from microfibers. I don't use the microfiber to wipe the glass. What I'll do is I'll use a squeegee and then use a microfiber to clean the squeegee. But I won't use the microfiber. That might help. And I don't use really expensive microfiber towels. I use microfiber towels from Walmart. I get the 30 pack for $13. Hand of God. And those are pretty good towels. I even spent the more money on the nicer microfibers at AutoZone, and I didn't really like them. Reason why is because I use one side of the towel. Let me see if I have a towel here. I had a towel here. Hold on. Let's see. I have a microfiber towel right here. So this towel is pretty much the same on both sides. There we go. This towel is pretty much the same on both sides. But the ones I got from Walmart is like there's like a fine side and then there's like a fluffy side. There's a very big distinguishing factor between one side and the other. So, and why is that important to me? Because I only use one side for tint or touching the film. Oops, sorry, that was really loud. Hit the mic. So I only use one side for touching the film, and I use the other side exclusively for if I'm wiping the outside or if I'm doing anything, touching anything else besides the film, so that I know that when I'm wiping, like my squeegee, on the film side, the side that I only use the film on, it's gonna have the least amount of dirt on it, and then that'll help prevent marring on the film from your squeegee. Maybe there's like a piece of dust or a piece of sand or something, or a little bit of scratch that can ruin it. You don't want that, obviously. You don't want that. But that's how I do that. That's how I do that. Ah, yes. I just read. Yes, I'm definitely. I always, if Tropical Shade Tinting, don't forget to mention the super chat. Tropical Shade Tinting with the super chat, $10 super chat. You guys are super generous. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys do super chats, I always mention it. I always mention it. I'm always appreciative of it. So for those of you, thank you. 1,000 thank yous. Daniel says he uses a glass cleaner with a waffle towel, all from 3D products. Daniel, are you a detailer also? I am not a detailer, but usually detailers that turn into tinters, like usually have like really high end, like towels and nice stuff. Washington, Korea. Ooh, I'm sorry if I'm destroying that. What's the difference between a carbon blade and a stainless blade? Well, the only difference really is the carbon. If you're using OLFA blades, OLFA, O-L-F-A, OLFA, okay? OLFA blades, the stainless steel ones will come in a yellow box, and the carbon blades will come in a black box. Fair warning. Make sure you know the difference. The only time tinters really use carbon blades is if they're using a carbon blade to shave the top edge. And why do they do that? Carbon is a much harder material versus stainless steel. So harder material, and it's much sharper. So that's why they use it to shave. But if you use a carbon blade to cut out a pattern on glass, you will score the glass. The carbon blade will scratch the glass. You could still scratch the glass with a stainless blade, but it's much more likely if you did it with a carbon blade. Like almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. Daniel Reyes, yes, I do detail. See, that's what I thought. You know why? Because most tinters don't know what a waffle microfiber towel is, or a towel with what waffle is. They're like, what? Yeah, I dip in a little bit of everything, from detailing to PPF. I'm researching and learning about wraps right now. Headlights, taillight tint, plasti dip. I'm a little bit of everything. A little bit of mainly window tint, but I like to get into other stuff. What is 3D products? Jaybird asks, what's 3D products? Let's go ahead and look and see. Bing, 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 bing. 3D products. 3D products. Towels? Towels? I hope nothing bad comes up. 3D International Online Store, 3dproducts.com. Here we go. Let's check it out. 3D towels, cleanings. It's a professional detailing. See, Jaybird. That's why we don't know what these are, because we're not detailers. We're window tinters. But detailers that turn into window tinters have nicer stuff, typically. So let me see if we can find it. Waffle? Awful waffle? I'm a horrible speller too. Just a fair warning. I'm like the world's worst speller. But I did spell waffle correct. Towels. Let's try towels. Green Microfiber towel 12-pack, $12.99. These are twice as expensive as what I ones get. But these are professional. These are like window tinters, as long as it doesn't even, if you look into the light, like my microfiber towels, like they'll lint up a little bit, but if you have some really good technique, it won't, you won't get that stuff in your tint. But as a detailer, Like there's different. It's almost like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like different grades of sandpaper. Even detailers will get so crazy as to pull the tag off the towels because the tag can essentially scratch like a flawless detail job, a paint, especially if you're doing exterior detailing. I'm back. Let's go back here. Transition to full-time tinter. Whew. Daniel, awesome. Start off as a tinter, now do side detailing. I hear there's good money in detailing, but you have to be in the right market. But I guess it's like tinting. South Miami, apparently, like in Miami area, apparently there's $85 tinters all day long on every single corner. So, what techniques for no lint? Well, I'm meaning like you don't use the towel, or you squeegee everything off and you try to keep it as clean as you can, and then do a really good flush out, and then keep a really good eye when you're squeegeeing, like so you clean the outside, and then as you're squeegeeing the inside, you kind of keep an eye on just to see and make sure there's no lint or anything, any products or particles left on the glass, and then you flush out the sides really, really well, and that's pretty much it. Versus like just whatever, some people just do. It's crazy. You should see. I love watching tinters tint, good or bad. Like bad, it's like ooh, but good tinters. I love watching different tinters because you get to see the different ways people do different things. It's awesome. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So if you can learn as many different ways to do it, just in case the way you're doing it isn't working, then that just makes you a better tinter. Yep, the tags will scratch paint, especially black paint. It's crazy. Like window tinters will like wipe down a car, like a dirty car with a rag and stuff like that. And if a detailer saw that, they'd be like, "Oh, stop it. Stop it." It's crazy. It's almost like watching a detailer, like if you're a window tinter and watching a detailer spray like Windex on film to clean it. And you're like, "No. Don't do that." Tack rags. I don't know. Painters tack rags. What the heck is that, Jaybird? Painters tack rags. Let's look that up. Image. Tack cloth by the Home Depot. For those who don't know, these are tack rags, apparently. Tack cloth. Let's take a look at them. Any other pictures? Tack cloth. Let's see here. Ooh. If I'm looking at this right. Yeah, those might be a little too, like, I guess that could work, really? Here's my thing. I get a pack of 30 of them for like $12.99 or something like that from Walmart. I usually run with like 2 or 3 packs. So at any given time, I have about 60 to 90 towels on hand. And like I'm like a crazy fanatic. Like I'll do 2 or 3 windows and I'll get a fresh towel. Because if it starts getting too wet, too soaked, too dirty, then that's it. Some people will keep a towel and use a towel for the entire car, back windows, side windows, start the next car, clean the outside, do it again. That's just not me whatsoever. So what I'll do is I'll use a towel. I use okay towels. I don't go overboard, but the towels are good enough for me. And if they start getting too dirty, too grungy, too whatever, then I throw them away as I see fit. Like if I get adhesive on my towels, instead of trying to pick out that adhesive, if it's not easy, if you're trying to pick out that adhesive and I try to throw that towel in with my other towels, that adhesive could contaminate all my other towels. So instead of doing that, I'll just throw that towel away. Or if it gets too dirty, I'll throw it away. I don't know. I just do. You know, it's the same thing like if a leaf gets in your dish or in your wash machine, like maybe a leaf got caught up. If you have like, I have bay doors, so sometimes leaves get in there. And then all of a sudden you have little tiny leaves all over your towels and you gotta get rid of all of them because you never know. Maybe you take that towel and put it on a window to try to clean it. And you don't see that there's like a little bit of leaf or a little bit of stick and it just scratches your tint. So My opinion on the tack cloth, it could work. It seems a little too frugal. A little too frugal. You gotta spend money to make money. I mean, you don't have to break the bank, but don't be afraid to spend a little money now. Let's see. They have stuff that picks up lint. Those will not work, bro. Okay, someone says having problems with the back window on a Dodge Charger from the bottom rail. Okay, so everyone has problems with the Chargers, and they just that car is just infamous for being difficult to shrink and difficult to install. And I had a good video. I should pull up the video. The video is a pretty good video. Let me see. Do we have time? How many people got watching? We got 13 people watching. Does anyone want to? If you put in the comments here, if you guys want to watch, just like give me like a. I don't know if you guys can do thumbs up. Give me a yes or a no if you guys want to see a shrink video for a Charger the way I do it. I have a really great video for that. A lot of people like it. If I get five yeses in the next 3 minutes, then I'll go ahead and show that to you guys. But for you with the Charger, I don't even want to try Zydune. I know I'm destroying that. I would. The best way to do it, I've heard of this product called Rewind to Raw. Rewind to Raw. I heard that's really, really good stuff on there, and it brings back the stickiness to it. Now, if you don't have that product, what you could do is you can turn the defrosters on, and if you turn the defrosters on before you start doing the cleaning process and the installation process, then the glass will theoretically warm up, and it'll tack down a little bit better. The adhesive will tack down and hold a little bit better. Fair warning though, that when you throw the defrosters on and you start working on that, it takes a while. It's going to start to tack really quickly, so you have to work relatively fast. And the last time I did a Charger, I was curious, because I didn't know if it was the shrink or the Charger itself. I did pretty much the install, and I saw fingers started popping up, and then I turned on the defroster. So I didn't even turn on the defrosters. I turned on the defrosters after I did that, and then did a power stroke or a power squeegee after that, and it held down. Fair warning though, that technique could get you champagne, which is what happens when you throw air bubble through. If you push air through an area that's already been squeegeed and dried out, it'll leave a haze mark, and that's known as champagne. It's champagne in flat glass. I don't know if people in auto say that or not, but you could run the risk of that. Fair warning. Yes, no, boring. Anthony Davis. Yes. All right, cool. Yes. Miracle Claus Zizo. Okay. Is this a beginner class? No, I don't use tack regs. No, this isn't a beginner class, Anthony. As this is just the Q&A portion of the live stream. We were discussing negotiations and negotiation seasons. We're talking about commission, salary, 1099 employee. Just little stuff that are coming up that will be helpful for you. Anthony asked, what do you do about thick matrix lines? Clean them really well. I heard people using alcohol, rewind to raw, and throw on the defroster lines. Throw the defroster lines on, and that's how I usually handle that, so that the fingers don't pop up. Doesn't happen to too many cars. Chargers and Challengers, that does happen to them, and a couple other ones, but it doesn't happen too often. All right, 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yeses. Uh-oh. Oh, I should look into that. Zizo Fiber, lint-free miracle cloth, Amazon. Jaybird, why don't we look that up? I'm gonna take a look. See. Let's see what comes up here. Images. Queso. No. Zezo fiber. Oh, I guess these are it. Cleans anything without streaks. All right. One pack costs $19.20. Quantity one? One costs $20? Package quantity one. How many in per package? I don't see anything. I don't know. Maybe I should try these out. See how they work. This dog can learn old tricks. New tricks. Let's see here. Bink, bink, bink. Modern Ninja Moto asks, how do you choose your insurance company? It's kind of like choosing anything else. You know, you kind of go with the one that works best for you. You know, whoever has good customer service, who's going to give you a good fair price, who's going to make sure that is going to cover you in the event. You got to keep in mind, whatever you're paying for, like insurance, right? It's supposed to insure you against like catastrophic stuff that you can't pay for. So you got to make sure that they can pay for it. So it's kind of like, I can't tell you exactly what it is because I don't know your personal situation or anything about you. But if you're going to go for an insurance company, go with one that obviously that is cost effective for you, but that also covers you for anything that you do need, like general garage insurance or whatever you want to add on. I'm not an insurance expert, so I don't know 100%. Fair warning. 5 for 20 on those chamois. Copy that, Jaybird. Copy that. All right, guys. Well, I definitely appreciate you guys, and thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up at this time. We are about 4 minutes past the time, so like I said, I've been trying to stay, and I've been trying to stay on track and on time because I don't want to make these too long. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do for next week. What I am going to do, though, is that once these wrap up, because whatever the comments, go in the comment sections, once this wraps up, it ends. So if you guys had any topics that you guys want to cover next week, next Tuesday, then wait until this video posts. It should be like 5 or 10 minutes after I shut the live stream down, and then go back to it and can comment on that video. And then I'll go ahead and choose from the comments there what we go over for next week, especially if you guys have those. I want to be able to go cover topics that you guys want to talk about and discuss, so that's very important to me as well. And again, thank you again to the super chat, tropical hold on one second, I want to make sure I get this right. Tropical Shade Tinting with a $10 super chat donation. Definitely appreciate that. As always, it's very kind, very kind, very kind. And again, one more time, thank you very much to our sponsors over at Soak Shield, the original microfiber braided rope. Make sure to pick one up. Check it out, soakshield.com. They're just an awesome company with an awesome product, so just make sure to check them out. Also, in part, CertifiedTinter.com launches January 1st, your premier online training center. Make sure to check them out, from the creators of Window Tinting Business and Tint Stuff, Matt and Patrick. Yep. And lastly, again, for that, if you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe. Hit the little bell notification if you want to be updated with whenever I go live. Typically, I go live Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have heard of people hitting the bell notification and they don't even get notified. So, sorry about that. And now, usually I would have a next week's preview, but I don't have a next week's preview. I'm just going to be very honest with you. So if you have some stuff that you want to see or want to hear or want to talk about, then make sure to come back and comment on this video. I'm going to pull it straight from there. And if you don't, then I'm just going to keep picking whatever I want to pick. So, but thank you again, guys, and have a great week, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.